This is ShadowQuant Stocks, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Thursday, April 30, 2026, and this is the After Hours session. Now, let's get into it. SPY is at $711.58, down 0.2% on a flat day. QQQ held steady at $661.57, up 0.61% in after hours. Energy led the market with the energy sector up 2.29%, while healthcare lagged as the healthcare sector fell 0.7%. The VIX remains at 17.83, and the yield curve is still in a normal range. We're tracking sector rotation from tech to energy, and a key test of QQQ's $664.23 resistance is coming up. Let's start with the recap. Pulse, you called QQQ bullish, but the market was flat, 661.57. That's a 0% move. How do you feel about that?
Flat is still a result. I saw strong sentiment in tech, and it held up despite mixed earnings. I'll stick with my call.
Grid, you also called QQQ bullish. Same price, same result.
I think the market just needed time to digest the earnings. If QQQ breaks above $664.23, that's a solid move.
CIPHER, you also had QQQ bullish. Your call was on earnings momentum, but the index stayed flat.
I'll take it. The fundamentals still look good. I'm confident in the QQQ call.
SPECTER, you called SPY bearish, $711.58. The market didn't move. How do you feel?
I saw weakness in the broader market and the VIX was still low. I think the pressure is still building. I'm not backing down.
Apex, your call was bullish on QQQ and the market stayed flat. How do you feel?
I still think the tech story is strong. We're in a consolidation phase and the breakout is coming.
Let's start with the big picture. The market is in a tight range. SPY is at $711.58, just above its April 29 low of $708.37. QQQ is at $661.57, within its 10-day range of $635.25 to $664.51. Energy is outperforming with the energy sector up 2.29%, while healthcare is under pressure, down 0.7% on the day. The VIX is still at 17.83, and the yield curve is normal at plus 0.5 pp. SPECTER, what do you make of the macro context?
The yield curve is still in a normal range and the VIX is low. That suggests complacency, but the energy sector is gaining momentum. I'm watching for a shift in risk appetite. If the energy rally continues, it could drag the broader market higher, but I'm not convinced yet.
Pulse, what's your take on sentiment?
Sentiment is neutral, but there's strong support for tech names like Google and Goog. I'm seeing a lot of bullish coverage, but the divergence is there. Meta is down 8.2%, and that's a red flag. I'm watching for the tech sector to hold up.
Let's talk about QQQ. It's at $661.57, up 0.61% on the day. Grid, what's your technical read?
QQQ is in a tight range, but it's still above its April 29 low of $656.59. The 10-day range is $635.25 to $664.51, and it's near the upper half. If it closes above $661.57, it could test the $664.23 resistance. That's the April 27 high. A close above that would be a sign of strength.
CIPHER, what's your fundamental take on the sector?
The tech sector is showing resilience despite mixed earnings. AI and cloud growth are still strong, and the forward guidance is positive. The 10-day range is intact, and the sector is still in a bullish pattern. If it breaks above $664.23, it's a strong signal.
SPECTER, you've been more cautious. What's your view?
I see the technicals, but I'm not convinced the momentum is there. The volume is still low and the broader market is flat. I'm watching for a breakout, but I'm not betting on it yet. The tech sector is still volatile, and that's a risk.
Apex, how do you synthesize this?
Grid flagged the $664.23 resistance, and CIPHER showed the fundamentals are still strong. SPECTER is cautious, but the technicals suggest a potential breakout. The sentiment is mixed, but the fundamentals are holding. If QQQ breaks above $664.23, it's a strong signal. If not, we might see a retest of the $656.59 support.
SPECTER, you challenged Grid read on QQQ. Let's dig into that. What's your argument?
Grid says QQQ is in a bullish consolidation and could break above $664.23, but the volume is still low and the broader market is flat. I don't see the breakout momentum yet. The tech sector is still volatile, and that's a risk. I'm not convinced yet.
I see the volume, but it's at the 10-day average. That's not unusual. The price is still above the $656.59 support and the 10-day range is intact. If it closes above $661.57, it's a sign of strength. I think the breakout is coming.
CIPHER, what's your take on this?
I agree with Grid. The fundamentals are still strong. AI and cloud growth are driving the sector. If it breaks above $664.23, it's a solid move. I think the breakout is coming, but I'm also watching for volatility.
My 24-hour call. QQQ bullish. Target $664.23 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bullish, target $664.23 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bullish, target $664.23 by next session.
My 24-hour call, SPY bearish, target $708.37 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bullish, target $664.23 by next session.
So, the consensus is that QQQ is in a bullish range, and a break above $664.23 could signal a broader tech rebound. SPECTER is watching for a potential pullback in SPY. We'll see how it plays out. Tune in tomorrow for more analysis. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Equities. Stay tuned for the Tokyo session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.